Hi everyone, Nadine here, and I want to talk to you about the United States election coming up here in November. Wow, what a flurry of activity that's been going on over there. One of the things people have asked me is how can I support Donald Trump? And it's like, well, when you got two options, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, um, you know, Robert Kennedy Jr. now supports Donald Trump. Vivek Ramaswamy supports Donald Trump. Donald Trump is certainly not perfect, but he's not a warmonger, in my opinion, and is trying to find peaceful solutions to keep the United States out of the next World War instead of trying to create one like the Democrats. But here's my comments on Kamala Harris, and I know I've had people laugh at me, and it was really funny because the other day, somewhat rather unexpected, somebody threw a comment at me about, oh, no one in the United States would ever vote for a woman for president. And I went, oh my good God. That is certainly not going to be the reason why people don't vote for Kamala Harris. I mean, I think they won't vote for Kamala Harris because she's a cackling hyena. Myself, I don't like to speak badly about people, but I don't think the woman really is all that intelligent. She's certainly not shown herself to be competent as a vice president. So, God, please, let's make sure that she doesn't ever become president, because if that's the case, we certainly know that she's not the one pulling the strings or making the decisions. There are definitely more powerful people behind her doing that role, as we saw with even Joe Biden, for heaven's sake. So, am I hopeful that Donald Trump wins the election in the United States? Absolutely. I don't think he was a bad president when he held the presidency. And I think the United States would have been a lot better off had he served that second term. And if you consider the fact that people now are promoting Donald Trump as the biggest threat to democracy and is laughable, let's be serious. You have a Democrat candidate who was appointed. She wasn't even democratically elected to be the nominee herself. She was appointed, and nobody else was given the opportunity. In fact, people were downright denied the opportunity to challenge her. So that is not democracy. It's amazing to me how people don't see that the people who are calling others out for a lack of democracy, and democracy is 51% rules the other 49. Let's be honest, it's a flawed system. But if you're going to talk to democracy, then my God, at least follow through on it. And appointing your nominee for a presidential candidate is about as undemocratic as it can get. That is called, dictatorship, totalitarian, authoritarian, communism. I'm just saying. So, for all my American friends out there, you have a responsibility. Get out there, get involved. Let's make sure that the right person wins the election here in November. And whether or not you agree or disagree with everything that people say and or the individual, the person, Donald Trump is certainly far from perfect. More times than not, I'd be like, okay, stop talking now. But the truth is, he did do, in my opinion, a decent job at the last presidential 4 years that he served, and I think he will do another amazing 4 years, far better than anything that you could expect out of the Democratic Party. I think they are pretty much evil. You look at some of the choices for backdrops even that they've used, some of the stances that they have taken as far as censorship, and to use language like, Donald Trump is the greatest threat to democracy. I think they need to look in the rearview mirror at what they've done over the last 4 years, and then look at the front mirror and go, oh my gosh, yeah, that was you that did that. So my thoughts, my prayers are with you all, and you've got my support here for whatever it's worth up in Canada for all my U.S. listeners, and I hope that in November we can look back on this, and we are going to be looking at good times, a very strong and prosperous North America moving forward. Have a good night.